What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here. And as Pearl mining is going on and stuff, it looks like a lot of people are asking how to run this on Windows easily without WSL. Well, it does look like Alpha Pool now has a Windows one-click installer. So I haven't installed this or anything yet. I have downloading it. So I just want to go through the process and let's see how easy this actually is. It does look like it almost does Docker WSL in the background all by itself. So you're still kind of using it, but let's see how it goes. And one reason why I do want to try this is when I use WSL for the Alpha Pool miner, I'm not getting very good hash rates. As you see, the hash rate here is only saying 136, 136, 134. And share equivalent hash rate, I am getting about 219, 274. So maybe that's what it actually is. So I'm not really sure how to read the hash rate on this, but I'm gathering this is my hash rate right here. And it's not what it's supposed to be. Now, this is what it's supposed to be. Then it's working as intended. And here it says 500 and some equivalent share per tera. So again, I'm not sure how to read this, but here I see hash rate, terahash per second, and I'm gathering that this is my hash rate. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Regardless, I'm going to see if I can get some better numbers by installing this. And before you install it, keep an eye on your virus detection here, because you do want to come into here and it will be detected as a virus. So make sure you do allow that to go through. That way it allows you to download it. So without further ado, let's install this and see what happens. Okay, so it is downloaded as mentioned earlier. I'm simply going to click on it here and let's see what it does. Yep, do that. Run anyway. Continue with whatever you're going to do. Let me know. Yep. Okay, next. I agree. And here it's saying worker name default. So your Pearl wallet address starts with this. So it looks like we have to fill in all the information here. So worker name, I want to put in, like I usually do for this, is Rabid WS. And as for the rest, I need all my available wallet stuff. So I'm going to come into here. I'm just going to look for my wallet right here. So I'm going to take that, paste that in for my wallet address. Boom, right there. Now for the host, I guess we're going to have to go back into Alpha Pool, and I'm just going to duplicate this here. So I still have that one up. And then we're going to see if we can find all of their mining pool IPs here. So where are all the stratums? Stratum, where are you? Okay, so here are their stratum points here on their main page. So I'm just going to, I guess, copy this right here, bring that up. We're going to put that here. It looks like we put our port in a separate one. Why it didn't even copy that? Why didn't you copy it for me? Okay, let's try this manually. This way. Copy. Now paste it in. There we go. It worked that time. So 5566. So we're going to have to put our port in here. 5566. Okay, now we're going to hit the next button and it's going to tell us to put it in C. Now, I like to put all my miners in the same spot. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to go browse. I'm going to go into, I guess, my PC here. And then I want programs, miners. Where's miners? Right here. And then I'm going into GPU miners. And I'm going to make a new folder in here. I'm going to call this Alpha Miner. So I'm going to put Alpha Miner in here. So click on that. Okay. That's where I'm going. Now remember, you can just go to the default if you want. Put it wherever you want. I like to keep all my miners in the same place between GPUs and CPUs so I know what all I got. So now I'm going to install that. Docker desktop was not detected or is not running. Installer can open it. Yes. So we're going to need Docker for Windows somehow. So we're going to have to download that. So I got to sign in, do all this crap real? No, I just want to download it. Download for Windows AMD 64. Okay, Docker, whatever installer. So we're going to download that. So it looks like we need some extra things here. So we're just going to wait for this to download. All right, so Docker desktop installer is done downloaded. It only took me about 3.5 hours with my slow Canadian internet. I'm just bugging you, but my internet sucks. We all know this if you follow the channel. So all user installation requires password. Use WSL2 instead of Hyper-V. Allow Windows containers. I'm not sure what all I gotta click on here per user installation. So I just want that. Windows containers should only be enabled if you understand the risk. So I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, leave it as default. Hit OK. Yes, because I don't understand the risks. I'm new. I use Windows, right? That's why we're doing this. Anyway, so we're gonna let this do its thing, and I guess I'll just let it play out the way it's doing it so you guys can see exactly what it does. All right, so installation succeeded. You must restart Windows to complete installation. So that means we got to close this and probably restart our whole other application after. So yeah, it says please rerun the installer after that is installed. So we're going to hit OK, cancel, and now we're going to close and restart. So now we're going to reboot our PC. All right, so we are rebooted and now it wants us to sign in and do all sorts of stuff. But there is a skip button, so I'm going to hit that and see what happens. WSL needs updating. WSL update. Okay, well, that's simple enough. So let's come into here. Let's just go into Windows PowerShell. And then we should be able to just WSL update. Checking for updates. All right, so that's doing all its stuff. So again, make sure you are up to date. So we'll wait for this to continue on.
Maple on pancakes, wallet on fire, frost on the glass, clocks running higher, Canada nights, sky sharp as steel, numbers go brrr, this is how it feels. We're mining in a hailstorm, hearts on boost, Monero in the wallet, cutting loose, Zephyr in the pipeline, charts go zoom, frostbite fingers in a neon room, Canada cold but the grid runs hot, snow blind eyes on the payout spot, Maple geese fly by, we're mining in a hailstorm, touch the sky.
All right, I don't know. Oh, there we go. We got something. Your running containers show up here. All right, so I was about to hit the X, but it looks like stuff happened. So it looks like when it just gets to this point, you're good. So I'm just going to I'm going to leave it. No, I'm just going to close it. Forget about it. Now we're going to finish doing, what is this? Oh, it wants some stuff here. I didn't even see that. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so now we're going to continue on redoing this part right here. So now we need this host and everything again. So we're going to take this. Remember, the port is in a different spot. So let's see what happens again. So we're going to put that in here. 5566 we need here. Looks like it popped up on its own. Press any key to install Windows subsystem for Linux. Oh, it already did all that. Unexpected errors. I'm getting errors and everything. Probably because they didn't let this do its thing. So let's just do that. We already have all this though. So I don't know. Let it just do its thing here. I'm going to continue on here. 5566. So we're kind of doing two things at once because we got Docker going. So remember, we made that earlier. So we should be able to find that path I was at. So Rabid mining, go down to my programs, miners, GPU, and then Alpha Miner right here. So, okay, install it to there. Let's see if it allows us. Docker desktop is not detected or is not running. So it looks like we definitely need that to work. So open Docker desktop download page. No, we don't need that. Continue without verifying Docker. The miner may fail to start unless Docker desktop is running. Okay, so we're going to cancel this. It's not letting me cancel it. Figures, go figure. All right, we're running through all sorts of issues. Start mining now. Okay, let's just do that. Start mining now. Finish. Now what? Nothing's happening. Exit. All right, miner, where are you? Start mining. Start doing things. Or is a container in here? Docker engine stopped. Oh, great. What do we got going on? This isn't as easy as it seems. It's not straight through. All right, so I'm going to check out what is in here. So we see reconfigure, start mining, stop mining. So if I just click reconfigure, nothing happened. All right, let's click start mining. What goes on here? Okay, it looks like it's pulling the image. So that's interesting. Now, I didn't think it was going to do that because you're supposed to have your Docker open. So anyway, it's pulling. So I must have my Docker open. Now, if it's not working for you, make sure your Docker is actually open. But now it looks like it is. So I just came into here and went to start miner. So looks like it's downloading things. With my slow internet, it could take a while. So let's get back to the tunes.
Cables on floor, latency low, give the cluster more. CPU choir in a midnight race, breath
it closed on me. What the? All right, so bear with me. This part didn't seem to record my voice, so I'm kind of voiceovering, but I did hear my GPU ramping up and I saw power on Afterburner. So we are mining and it did work. So you got to come into here and it just disappeared on me. So you can see down below where it says look at your live logs, and then you open up the little other file here for your logs, and then that's how you can see your hash rate and everything. So it does look like it's working. We are getting kind of maybe a bit more hash rate, but still it's not what we're supposed to be getting on this RTX 4090, which I do find kind of interesting. But we are getting better hash rate here. Now, when I was going over and looking at the 3060 Ti that I have on a different PC through the remote management, it does seem like it is working the way it is intended to work. So I'm going to bring that up here right quick here so you guys can see that. But when it comes to my 4090, we are better, but we're not getting exactly the full hash rate that we should be getting, because we should be around 300 plus terahash, and we're only seeing like 231 terahash right now. So I don't really know what's going on there for sure. But coming into here, if we look here, is that 3060 Ti, and we say we're around 50 terahash or so. So we are getting good hash rate on our 3060 Ti in WSL. Normally, this is just WSL, and it's a much easier way to set things up. All right, so it is looking like I'm getting better hash using the Docker. Like here it is saying 233.27 terahash, and we just got an update here, maybe, possibly. Nope, doesn't look like it. But yeah, it looks like that's where we're sitting. So that's definitely better than the 130 or something that we're seeing. And right now we're about on par what I was getting on Pearlhash. But I do think Alpha Pool possibly has major issues when it comes to Windows Miner. Let's just take a look at this for a second. If I come into here, if I look at my server, we saw earlier that, let's just look at it again. It is showing around 50 terahash right here. See 50.62. But if we look at the pool, you can see the 1 hour average is only 19.6, or I guess the 1 hour average is right here, 23, and the 24-hour average is 20.07. And it has been running here for, I don't even know, a few days now, going there. And here we can see current hash rate's only 19. So we're not seeing anywhere. We're seeing less than half the hash rate than what the miner is showing us in Windows. And here we can see I'm stuck at 122. I keep refreshing this, and the current hash rate, this should be accurate based on what we have in the miner. And obviously we are way less there also. But if we come over and we look at my rig that's in Hive OS, look at that. We're seeing the 48, the 39, the average for 24 hours, where I'm doing my test here on which pool is more profitable. In Linux and Hive OS, we are seeing that I am getting the 40.55. So in my mind, looking at these numbers, Hive OS and Linux is working great on Alpha Pool, but if you are running a Windows machine, you are getting nerfed quite a bit. Even though the miner is telling you a lot, it's not showing up at the pool. So anything you have in Windows, I would highly urge people to move it over to Perl hashing. And I think that's what I'm going to do right now again, because this is just not working out. We're losing a lot of hash rate here based on these numbers. And to stop your miner, simply double click on stop miner. So I already did it, so it's off here. All miners stop. So that is how you're going to shut it down. I would highly urge you also go into Afterburner so you can see that your miner did drop and everything, because things are kind of running in the background. But right now, when it comes to Windows, it's looking like this one-click installer is misleading. It's obviously a lot more steps than just one click, and it's probably one of the worst ways to get things up and running. It's probably the hardest way. You got to install a whole bunch of stuff and do things. And, WSL is way easier. But also when it comes to Alpha Pool, it's just not very good when it comes to Windows in general. So I would urge everyone, if you're a Windows miner, just stay away from Alpha Pool completely. I know that may sound harsh, but I'm trying to help you guys out here, and you're losing a lot of hash rate running in Windows. So I would urge you guys to use Pearlhash for that concept here. But now I'm going to run it back in and just see what numbers look like on the pool right quick. Okay, so now I am back into Pearlhash here. I'm gonna scroll on down and we can see my rigs here. So I just fired it up and we can see we're sitting at 166 here. Now if I come in, we're at 199, 202, 191, 205. It's a bit lower because I am, I guess, recording and I got all these tabs and stuff open. But usually I'm around 215 or something. But look at that. We can see that we're at least getting what we're supposed to be getting based on the miner hash rate as well. And here we can see the server there, 36.59. If I bring that up here and open up my miner, we can see 36.59 here across the board. So we're getting what we're supposed to be getting based on the miner at the pool and stuff here, where previously we're not seeing that on the alpha pool miner. So there we go, guys. That pretty much does wrap up this video. I just wanted to show you guys how to install that one-click miner and go step for step, as a new miner looking at it, and then ended up after trying it out and showcasing it to you guys that I don't like it at all. I would highly urge people not to use it. And if you're in Windows, don't even use Alpha Pool at all. I would recommend Pearlhash because we're actually getting the hash rate we're supposed to be getting, where Alpha Pool is cutting that all in half. Now, if you're in Linux and stuff, it is, or HiveOS, which is Linux based, then it's definitely looking like you should be utilizing that on Alpha Pool because you're getting paid out more so far based on my tests, and you're getting a lot more hash rate there as well. So hopefully this video brought some insight to you. We're doing a lot of testing on Pearl here. Anything else you would like me to check out, let me know down in the comments section. Hit that subscribe button, share this around, hit that hype button. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.